If you're an editor, you're gonna be using keyframes. So keyframes are a very powerful tool that allow me to create all the cool transitions and effects that you see within my style of editing. So we're gonna jump into Premiere Pro right now. I'm gonna break down keyframes for you guys and show you the power of this amazing tool. All right, guys, so we are in Premiere Pro. I have this epic clip of my friend standing on a cliff. I flew my race drone around her. It's a pretty sick clip. But as you can see, she's pretty far from the drone at the beginning, pretty much the whole time. I'd like to be a lot closer to her. I'd like to start off the clip close up and then end it off wide like this. So this is a perfect scenario where keyframes come in handy. So what we're gonna do is go up into our effect controls window. And in here, we can see that we have all these parameters that we can change. We can change the scale of the clip. We can scale in, we can scale out. All right, so little hack that I use all the time. Normally, if you scale in or out, if you change any of these parameters, it goes pretty fast. But simply by holding Command down and then making those changes, you can be a lot more precise as the values change a lot slower. I use that a ton, pretty much all the time. So that's a pretty cool hack. All right, so we can change the scale, that's cool, but we don't want the scale to be the same throughout the whole video. That is where the keyframes come in. So as you can see to the left here, we have this little stopwatch icon. And if we click that, it turns blue, and now it gave me this little keyframe on the timeline to the right over here. And what this keyframe has done is recorded data at this particular time in the video. If we jump to that keyframe, it's 173.5. That's what the scale is set to. Now, if we want to go out further and then set a keyframe here to, let's say, 120, press enter, it's going to create another keyframe. So now what it has done is gone from 172 at this point in time, all the way down to 120 at this point in time. Let's make this a bit more dramatic so you guys can really see what we're talking about. Let's change it to 350, and then over here, let's go to 50. All right, so let's press play. And as you can see, it starts off very zoomed in, and then it goes out, 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 out. And so far so that the clip is tiny within our frame. So as you can see, the scale value went from 350 all the way to 50 between these 2 points. So let's do this for real now. Let's delete those keyframes, or what we could do is also just press the reset parameter button here, available for all the parameters, and it will reset that parameter and also create a keyframe. Let's zoom in a bit because this clip is a different aspect ratio either way. Let's zoom in to remove the side black edges, and let's go to the beginning. Let's zoom in on her. Let's do 190%. And then we're also going to be changing the position of the clip as well. We're going to animate that. So let's click the stopwatch icon on position, and let's move the position down here by moving the right values. So that's cool. You know, we have a good place to start, and then we're going to be moving out here. But as you can see, we start to get this black at the bottom, and that's because we didn't change the position over time. The position stayed the same. So let's change the position here to better suit this part of the clip. Move that black part, and just like that, it's going to turn proxies off so we can get a full resolution preview here. So now we are going from zoomed in on her, we're zooming out, keyframes are doing all the work. It looks like the drone was actually doing it, but in reality it was just the keyframes. I didn't want to fly my drone that close to her because, you know, I'm a respectful guy. I don't want to intrude her personal space. But thankfully, since this was 4K, I can punch in and set keyframes and make that effect in post where it seems like I start off really close to her and then I move out, when in reality I was pretty far away from her the whole time. So that is one scenario where you can use keyframes, but keyframes are not limited to just these parameters right here. You can use keyframes for pretty much any effect in Premiere Pro. So let me give you another example. Let's open Lumetri Color. Let's bring in Lumetri Color into our effect controls here. Just drag it in. Cool. Now that we have that in there, let's go to basic correction. For all you basic people out there, let's change the temperature of the clip as we move through it. So say we wanted to start the clip off a bit colder. No pun intended. Let's start it at -82. And let's hit that stopwatch icon, create a keyframe, and then move to where we want the clip to get warmer. Let's make it very warm. And now let's play through that. As you can see, the clip goes from a cool temperature all the way out here to a warm temperature. Does this make sense in this scenario? Maybe. It actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, but I personally wouldn't use this for this, but I do keyframe color grades all the time. It's a powerful tool, and I recommend that you do so also. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys one last thing before we wrap up this lesson. Let's add a Luma key effect to this, drag it into the effect controls panel. And as you can see, you can animate the parameters in here just like anything else, but I don't want to animate the parameters in the effect controls tab. Let's do it within the timeline window. If we right click the little effects box here, we can go to Luma key, and then we can click threshold. All right, so now we have a line that popped up over here. The threshold's at 0, that's why the line's at the bottom, but let's hold command, press on that line, create a keyframe. And then let's go later on throughout the clip. Hold command, press that line, create another keyframe. Damn, that's a sick name. Why didn't they call them keyflames? All right, but yeah, I guess we'll stick to keyframes for now. And we'll move that keyframe up to the top of the clip. And as you can see, we are animating that parameter as we move the playhead through the clip. That's so sick. Look at that. That's cool. I'm down. Like, that's a pretty cool effect. You know, that's something that I would actually do in one of my videos. And, you know, we're not limited to just that one effect. You know, whatever effects you have applied to the clip will pop up here. You can animate motion, position, scale, rotation, opacity, time remapping, all that fun stuff. All right, so that is the lesson on keyframes. As you can see, they're powerful as f***. But yeah, wish they were called keyflames, but they're not. They're just keyframes. In all seriousness, hope you guys enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.